Welcome back, Wowzery. Another Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts video here. Today I'm gonna try and do the Admiral Hipper class. Got the specifications. Custom battle. Go against the British Empire. One thing I always, since I've started doing this, that I've noticed, I'm gonna use the Heavy Cruiser 1. It has the thin characteristics over the thick of the hull. One thing that always kind of interested me when I go through these armor things is you always think the armor was much thicker, or for some reason, and you take a look and it's like, wow, that was really thin. No, I did not realize how thin the armor was. I saw steam turbines. I don't know if it's gear steam or not, but oops, that always helps the engine. I'm gonna go with crop 3, a little bit of that. We're gonna add in some, I'm pretty sure a lot of German ships use the turtleback armor at this time. I'm gonna go with, it's got good HE damage. I'll be up against two other, it's always a toss up in the air with this one. And I always pick the wrong one. I'll go with Cordite. Seems to be popular at the time. I know it is with the battleships. I'm not so much with the cruisers. It did have 21-inch torpedoes, so that is good. Give it a good rangefinder. I'm pretty sure at least the Prince Eugen had a radar. I'm not sure about the other ones, but yeah, we'll go ahead and toss it in. This is what I mean by the armor. The suggested armor is much thicker than what was actually on the ship from what I found. The belt was like 3.1 to 2.5, which I always thought was, I guess part of it is, there are very different armor thickness throughout the belt, and it's hard to know, like the engine and the center area had multiple areas, and sometimes it's just hard to get all that and do it well. It's like, do you add it all together? What's the best way to do it? And I usually just sit there and if I look at the belt and I see, it goes maximum of this and it goes to this, that's what I use. I'm not getting too dragged down in the details with adding stuff up, and I've seen some people you should add this stuff up and do this, and secondaries I've got no clue. So that seems to be one that just no one seems to put on there. Get a modern tower on there. Secondary tower. I'm not sure it matters which way I go with that one. A little bit more. I gotta connect them. Give me a thick funnel. It only had one funnel. Don't need any barbettes. Main guns, no. Center line. 8-inch twin. Bang, bang. Get some. Ironically, I was looking at that and it was like, such a generic looking turret. Almost remind me a bit of an Italian one, the Zara. The guns, but the guns aren't quite as close together as that. Now the secondary guns I am going to have to finagle a bit, because right there it doesn't fit, so gotta set the microphone down so I can use the shift key here. hold down the shift key and should be able to, there we go. Had 3 of these. Come on. Place it right there so I can. It wasn't this finicky when I was doing it earlier. Let's see, does zooming out help? Nope. Yeah, it's got the 3. General on the actual ship, those were, one was up here on the superstructure, but so far you can't put certain guns on the superstructure, which I hope they fix that in the future. Got some popping going on. That neighbor's doing something weird. Sorry about that. And then it had like that. Okay. We pretty much have, from what I found, the specifications of this ship. Concerning the limitations of the game, not too bad. I mean, could be a bit better. I could be able to put those secondary guns up on these platforms right there, but no, on the superstructure. But it is what it is. So we'll launch into the game here, and I could have used the wider hull, but the superstructure is vastly different. It's would be more of like a Bismarck superstructure, and so it kind of doesn't quite have the same feel, which is why I went with I forgot to rename it again. There's enemy ships way out there, and they're going away from me. Okay, that's different. That looks. Guess I thought it was too far back to put another one. Triple. Almost looks like 5-inch guns, but 7, 8, something like that. For some reason, that back there reminds me more of that Italian battleship. I can never pronounce it. Lautaro, something like that. The Roma, the Vitero, the Venta, something. I'm going off the top of my head and never been able to pronounce those Italian ships, anyways. But you know, the X turret back there, no, it seemed like it was up on the barbette and just had an odd look. Let's see, 8-inch guns. The Thurnga, something like that. Yeah. Well, Prince Eugen was always one of my favorites of heavy cruisers. Had a very interesting career and survived, one of the few German larger ships to survive the war. It's part of a couple of atomic bomb testing. Apparently you can still see part of it out of the water at the Bikini Atoll. I think you can actually see it on Google Maps if you take a look. I thought I remember seeing it there. Nope, nothing there. It looks like that one's been hit. We got 16 guns versus 18. Oh, hitting me good. Nope. Missed again. Someone did say, no, I should slow down so that I can have better aim. There's a little thing between the two. No, you slow down, you're easier to hit too. I've noticed in this game. Oh. Yeah, there goes an engine. For some reason, that name reminds me of one of the spaghetti westerns. Yeah. Bad guy sits there and goes, "Go ahead, try and hit me, Colonel." Has that weird Colonel, adds an extra syllable to it at the end of the main gunnery duel. Might have been when was there torpedoes? Kind of an odd maneuver. Oh, the other guy got hit. Oh, I thought this was named. I guess not. Calling it a battleship. Yeah, going slower, but I'm not hitting better. In fact, the enemy seems to be hitting better. Go ahead and speed it up here. And it's not looking too good for me right here. Oh, there goes another engine. Slowing down is going to become a sitting target. Whoa, look at that lean. That list. Yeah, you get that on the cruise ships and all those things, and people panic like anything. Yeah. Hipper, I believe, was actually sunk. No, it was hit, decommissioned, and was never recommissioned. Russia, I think, no, it was raised and broken up at Kiel. The Blucher was sunk, I think, early in the war, 1940. Along with a couple of destroyers, I think, something like that. It was caught. Oh, maybe. The little flotation thing's not keeping up with what it says it's doing. Interesting. Essex. As an American, I always think, whenever I think of that name, I think of a carrier class. Some people have asked about carriers in this game. Far as I know, they're not going to, because of the complexity of making carriers and combat and AA guns and all that type of stuff, and which is why it kind of ends in 1940 and not beyond. Because really, no, 1941 really was a turning point between carriers and battleships. Now you had Toronto, strike, and then Pearl Harbor. And Pearl Harbor was the game changer in my mind, because it forced the U.S. Navy to go from battleships to carriers. Now, it wasn't that they just were like, oh, carriers are more superior. they had to use them because they didn't have battleships. Now half the battle fleet, the majority of the stronger part of the battle fleet was on in tatters and at Pearl Harbor. Before that, Bismarck, along with Prince Eugen, the battle there was actually a textbook carrier operation. Damage your battleship, have the battle fleet come in and sink it, which is exactly what happened. Aircraft from the Ark Royal came in, hurt the Bismarck, which allowed the battle fleet of Duke of York, Rodney, I'm not sure if Nelson was part of it or not, and might have been King George V as well, come in and sink the Bismarck. Am I doing any damage? Yeah. He's flipping around. Of course, this looks nothing like a British battle heavy cruiser. The turrets there actually remind me more of an Atlanta class light cruiser, actually AA cruiser. What is that? 4-inch gun? One little 4-inch gun. And a bunch of 2-inch guns. Let's see, reload every 16.3 seconds. I reload every 13.8 seconds, so a little bit faster reload. Making maneuvers, and looks more like a battleship hull from above, doesn't it? Got the width. Cruisers I always thought were a bit thinner. Yeah, there I am on fire. Actually a bit more of a slugfest than I thought at the beginning. Looks like, oh, there goes the engine, slowing down again. Another hit. Yeah, they're just... Well, so far the AI is not causing either group to run away yet. I know early on when the custom battles came in, especially this ship right here would be running away. It wouldn't be broadside anymore. So they have changed that a bit. It's nice for these custom battles like this, but I think once the actual game gets in, you reach a certain point, you do want your ships to run, if they can. Of course, at the same time, if you've got 5 ships and only one's damaged and it's running away, you want it to kind of stay with the other 4. Let's see what's going on with this guy. Oh. Now two engines are out. Not looking good. Of course, the Germans never actually used the... Oh, no, did they use it in... against PQ... is it 17? Where the German Navy actually sortied. The British found out about it and scattered the convoy. Of course, the German ships returned back to... might have been PQ 19. 17, 19. I'd have to look it up. Top of my head, I'm not quite recalling. The Germans never quite figured out what exactly happened there. They thought it was, I think, submarines, and doubled their effort. And what happened was the British were actually, that they saw that the German fleet had sortied and panicked and broke up the convoy, and it allowed the aircraft and submarines to pick off the ships easier. Panic sometimes does more than actually doing something. Yeah, there I lost my cruiser. Sank from flotation. Although this guy's not doing... he's doing better than... he is taking a pounding. Not quite enough flotation damage. It'll repair that, most of that. Down to 30%. All 3 engines gone. And, oh, of course I have now shifted. Firing to the Essex. 3 engines down. He's now got flooding. More hitting. Not firing back, is he? What is this? No, he's going straight. Have we hit a glitch in the game? Where the enemy has stopped firing? Let's speed it up and see what happens. More flooding. The other cruiser sank due to heavy flooding. This might be a glitch report here. Did they just... the British surrender there? We give up? Something. Weird. Yeah, this will definitely be this has to be a glitch. Definitely a glitch. Especially seeing how it's now 0% up here. There it goes, sunk, yeah. Well, I won. Due to, I think, a glitch in the game, so I'm gonna fill out a glitch report here on that, and you guys got to see it. I won, yeah. Alright, well, hope you had fun. Enjoy the video, and I'll see you tomorrow.